Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice Radio. So today, we've got another tag team supporter to look at. I was musing just recently as to whether we would get another one of these. Well, it turns out, ladies and gentlemen, yes. Yes, we would. We are getting Guzma and Hala tag team. And we can get more into this in the video if we've got time at the end. But several people are pointing out, what is up with these combinations? These are weird combinations. Why Guzma and Hala? Now, red and blue I love. Red and blue is like the protagonist and the rival. Love it. Brilliant. All in favour. Great. But then we get to Cynthia and Caitlyn. And Caitlyn's one of the Elite Four from Black and White. And then Cynthia is the champion from Diamond and Pearl? I mean, they don't exactly scream combination. And now we've got Guzma and Hala. Now, they're both Gen 7 characters. They're both characters from Pokemon Sun and Moon. But do they even meet in Sun and Moon? Genuine question, let me know in the comment section. I honestly don't know if they do. So it's a little bit weird, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not 100% sure why it's Guzma and Hala. It seems like a weird pairing to me. But I do like the card very much indeed. Search your deck for a stadium card and put it into your hand. Additionally, you may discard 2 cards from your hand. If you do, search your deck for a Pokemon tool card and a special energy and put them into your hand. Yeah, this is phenomenal. This is phenomenal. And the reason this is so good is special energy search. This is special energy search in a format where we don't have special energy search. The last special energy search we had was Energy Lotto, which wasn't really special energy search now, was it, ladies and gentlemen? No. It was a card that let you look at the top 7 cards of your deck and you could reveal an energy. And then, if it was special, you could have it. This is just flat out special energy search. And when we've got cards like triple acceleration energy, which is so gosh darn good, I love this. Not to mention the fact that you can get something like your single copy of weakness guard energy. There are a bunch of decks that have started playing 1 copy of that just so they can take away their weakness. Or you can grab something like recycle energy, or you can play 1 copy of rainbow energy and put that into your deck. Or into your hand from your deck. The point is, this is special energy search. And there are some decks that adore triple acceleration energy. I adore this card. Being able to search for special energy is nuts. But let's go through the card piece by piece like we usually do. So initially, it is stadium search. Searching out a stadium is fine. Now, some people have asked, do we have any stadium search? Yes. We got Stadium Nav. Stadium Nav is a card that just came out in Unified Minds. And Stadium Nav lets you flip 2 coins. For each heads, you get to put a stadium card from your deck into your hand. So on average, that will get you a stadium, but it doesn't guarantee getting you a stadium. This absolutely does. And we have now, especially here, we've got Thunder Mountain and we got Heat Factory, the good Prism Star stadiums. Although Wondrous Labyrinth Prism Star, no slouch, gets played in most fairy decks. So that's cool. This lets you search them out, and searching out Prism Star stadiums is huge, because you can only put 1 in your deck, and they're otherwise quite difficult to search out. So this, I love. This I am completely and utterly in favour of. And to be fair, you can get that Shrine of Punishment on the turn it drops 1 extra damage counter and wins you the game. You can get that Lysander Labs right before you take a KO on a Pokemon with Spell Tag, so they don't get to drop the extra damage. You can get a Viridian Forest and turn this from just Stadium Search into Energy Search as well. Get rid of your opponent's stadium that's causing you problems, while also then being able to search for your energy with Viridian Forest. This is cool. Is it good enough to play over Stadium Nav? Arguably, but it is your supporter for the turn. But it's a tag team supporter, so you have the option of discarding 2 cards from your hand and then searching your deck for a Pokemon tool and a special energy, and putting them into your hand as well. Now, in terms of Pokemon tool search, we've actually got Adventure Bag at the moment. An Adventure Bag is an item card that lets you search for 2 Pokemon tools. Okay, so if you just want to search out tools, Adventure Bag is better. But if you're searching out tools, you've discarded 2 cards from your hand, at which point you're also searching out a Stadium and a Special Energy, as well as your tool. Well, that makes a little bit of a difference, ladies and gentlemen. That makes it quite a bit better than Adventure Bag. And it means you can get the tool you want. Now, to be fair, most decks tend to play kind of 4 spell tag or 4 U-turn board or things of that nature. Whereas, how about fairy decks for the fairy charms? Who nowadays are probably going to want to play 1 fairy charm lightning and 1 fairy charm ability and 1 fairy charm UB, etc. This helps you search them out. And just yesterday, I showed you the new Sylveon. And the new Sylveon does, for free energy, 160 damage if you've played a tag team supporter from your hand during the turn. I'll link Sylveon in the description, the video about it. So actually, this is a phenomenal card with Sylveon. Lets you search out triple acceleration energy, which works with Sylveon to make it, say, a 2 energy attack. And it searches out your tool, your fairy charm, and it searches out a stadium of your choice. So this is pretty good. Wondrous Labyrinth Prism Star, for instance. Yeah, there's a great combo going on here with Sylveon. It's really good with Sylveon. For me, the real highlight here is getting Special Energy. It is just hard to search out Special Energy nowadays. So having a card that just nonchalantly goes and gets you a Special Energy is absolutely huge. Now, I say nonchalantly, you've got to discard 2 cards from your hand, and that's a little bit awkward. We've seen this, incidentally, on the other tag team supporters. It seems to be their thing. And like I've said in those videos, there's plenty of decks like Naganadel that want energy in the discard. So you can find a deck that's totally cool with discarding cards, and let's face it, we discarded cards for Ultra Ball, we discarded cards for Computer Search, we are soon going to be discarding cards for Great Catcher, and nobody particularly cares about any of those cards needing you to discard, so I think it's pretty fair to assume that discarding with this card is also not going to be a particularly big deal. So we're fine with it, it's cool, we can move on with our lives. Is it good enough to see play? I think it is. I really do think this is a card which is good enough to warrant play. And the other thing to remember is, this is just a supporter. You've got to discard cards from your hand in order to get the extra effect, but in any other way, tag team supporters are just supporter cards. It means you can recover them with Lusamine. This one can be recovered using Cynthia and Caitlyn. It means you can recover them with Palpad. It means that you can search them out in Expanded using Tapu Lele. It means any card. In fact, actually, remember that new Silver Ally GX which is coming out, which is over the top brokenly good? And it's going to take a lot for me to realise that it's not, because I think it is literally over the top brokenly good. Yeah, that does extra damage if you've played a supporter card this turn. Well, good news, ladies and gentlemen. This totally counts as a supporter card, because it is a supporter card. A bunch of people have asked me, is this a real supporter card? Yes. These are supporter cards in the same way that Pokemon tools are just a subset of Pokemon items. They're still Pokemon items. And they act in exactly the same way. As it stands at the moment, there is no restriction. There is no extra rule with tag team cards. This is a pretty underwhelming card to begin with. Ooh, search a stadium. It's fine for Stadium Nav as an item, it's not great for a supporter. But if you're discarding 2 cards from your hand and searching for a stadium, which is generally pretty hard to search for, a special energy, which is basically impossible to search for, and a Pokemon tool card, which is generally pretty difficult to search for, yeah, that's a little bit different, ladies and gentlemen. I really like this card. I'm giving it 4 Wassies, and honestly, I think that could end up being a little bit misery. Some people are not happy with the choice of pairings on these tag team cards, and I will admit that other than red and blue, they're not the most obvious pairs. And some people are not terribly happy about the artwork on the card, although I think the backgrounds at least are pretty amazing. I love them. They are then using the stock images of the characters over the top. I'll let you decide if you like that or not. But I will say that as a new mechanic, I'm digging tag team supporters, and I am really liking what some of them do. But I would very much like to know your opinion on all of this, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassyPlays, where we talk about a whole bunch of games that don't even have any Pokemon in. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.